Welcome to the only place where real, raw, and vulnerable conversations happen with IFBB bikini pros to give you an inside look at their struggles, strategies, mindset, passions, and all of life beyond the stage. This podcast is made to inspire, motivate, and remind competitors and the average gym goer that even the most extreme lifestyles and elite athletes have their ups and downs. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm your host, Celeste Rains-Turk, and now it's time for the Confessions of a Bikini Pro podcast. Today, we are speaking with an athlete who just stepped off the stage of her Olympia debut and became 7th in the world. Yes, you heard that right. She earned her pro card back in 2021 at North Americans, and now with 29 shows under her belt and 12 years since leaving her home country of Venezuela to pursue her dream in bodybuilding, this athlete not only has accomplished so much, but also has accomplished a lot in her work as a one-on-one posing, life, wellness, and competition prep coaching, business coach. You know what I'm saying, coach. Welcome to the show, Maria Acosta. How are you doing?
Hi, good. And you? I'm so happy to be here, to be honest. So happy and excited to be here today.
Yeah, me too. I'm so glad that we can do this. And even just chatting with you a little bit before getting started, it gets me even more like eager to dive in. I just think you're incredible. And I can tell you're very humble, which I appreciate about you and so many of the athletes in our sport. But I got to ask you the question I ask everybody, which
Okay.
is, do you have anything that you do or think about, or maybe a ritual right before stepping on stage?
Yes, I pray. I'm so Christian, so I think all my glory is for the God. He give me all my, my passion about the sport and everything that I go into the stage. Actually, this year a little bit more. I surrender to God and I just pray and I breathe. And I just say, okay, God, take me your hand and show the grace because as a bodybuilding, we practice so much, but the nerve can control you. So that's happened with me a lot of years ago. So I know I have the potential to present myself really well on the stage, but every time that I come to the stage, I have some nerve. And to be honest, I will say something that I never say. Um, when you have some negative in your mind, when you go into the stage, you can present yourself as you want. So sometimes that I do this year different is just be positive with myself. Until, as an athlete, we never see ourselves, but I just positive. And actually, I told myself, Maria, you are good enough. You are good enough. You have glutes enough. You are good enough. You are good enough. And I don't pay attention to anybody. And just that's what I'm going to, before stepping to the stage, just pray and say, God, take me with your hand and show the grace. We practice. I do everything what I need to do. So it's just time for show my grace. And a lot of people say my posing is so different this year. I think the reason is it's God. I have God with me every time that I go into the stage.
That's beautiful. Have you always had a relationship with God that way, or has this evolved over the years?
It's involved. I started getting that relationship with God when I was 13 years old, but this year it changed a little bit more. I really understand all those negative things on my mind or something in my mind. I say, let me getting all not the pressure, but get me just trusting God. It's not my time, it's not what I want, it's not what I want to do, it's just God's time and He's perfect. And when I try and start to understand that, it's gonna be more easy to me to go into the stage and just have a fun and really enjoy the show because and not think about how it's gonna be my place, how it's gonna be, my glutes looks flat, whatever, blah blah. No, just go there and show my work and that's it. Just enjoy. But that I think is really good, like, having a very relationship with God. I always all my life have a really good relationship, but this year is more special. I dedicate myself every single day to pray Him and trust Him.
That's amazing. Yeah, I personally have grown so much my relationship with God too as an adult, and I find that it's given me an identity that frees me from a lot of this. So, like,
Yes.
by having an identity in Christ, I'm okay with whatever outcome because I know that I'm enough as I am. And also, like you said, God's timing is perfect. God's plan is better than I could ever imagine. And when I started like really rooting my identity in that, I was less attached to outcomes or titles or the sport or if I was going to continue or if I wasn't. It was just like letting him lead me. And I'm curious if you've found anything similar to that, like by having an identity in Christ, it actually allows you to be a better athlete.
Oh, yes, for sure. Especially actually everything's happened more this year after Charlotte Cup. I got second again for third time. And that day for me was really special. I don't want to say names, but of course, when they called me second again, at the pro level, you say second is really well, but when you got second three times, it's not fun. You
Yeah.
say, what I need to do, forget that first place. So when I really try to understand, I cry so much after I broke my hair. Like it's not about the judges, it's not about anything. It's just what I need to do. I'm not good enough or whatever, blah blah. I'm so hard with myself. And one day I just prayed to God and I just surrendered to God and I said, "Hey God, just help me because my husband, he's my partner. We have 8 years together. He support me. He's my biggest support. He believe in God like the same as me. And he told me after Charlotte Brown, when I told him I'm not good enough, he told me, Maria, you are second in the pro league. Please stop. No, I'm not good enough. And I'm crying, I'm crying. He said, Maria, stop doing that. Like you are second. And I remember that show, one girl coming to me and say, I think she plays last. And she said to me, hopefully I can be in your foots today. And when she told to me, we cry, like crying. I said, wow, Maria, you are not really appreciated. Like what you doing in your career. You need to appreciate that because it's not your time. It's gonna be okay. It is you play second for so any reason. Maybe you need to mature. Maybe you need to be, appreciating more your body, everything that you have in your life. And one day, like I think that's the day that I broke and I was surrendered to God and I pray. And it's the first time he talked to me and I feel so strong. When he talked to me, he said, your time is coming, but you need to trust me. And I said, okay, I'm gonna trust him. And one day my husband say, because um for you body knows, I'm doing bodybuilding since I have 16 years old. So I got 14 years in the bodybuilding. I do because I love so much bodybuilding. That is my passion. So, and my husband told, okay, what's happened is you never won your first place. You stop competing. No. So why you cry? Because that's your passion. You don't need to cry. You do this because you love it. Because that's your passion, not about the place. One place don't define you. Like you are better than first place, last place, second, whatever. And I start to understand, yes, like I'm good enough. I'm the daughter of God. So what I need to do, I don't know. I just trust him. I follow him and I just do the work and I know my time is coming. And
That's
so it was a really, but trust me, like it's gonna be so many years to that in that place, to understand. Actually, let me tell you something. What is really interesting because when I talked with my coach after the Olympia, I told Jamie, I want to be that athlete, not because I'm seven on the world, I know I wanna win all the shows or next year. I don't know. I wanna be that the same athlete as Anne Maria before going to seven on the Olympia. I'm so competitive. Of course, I have my goals, but I wanna go to the show without any expectation. I'm not seven in the world. I'm just one girl competing more and all the girls working so hard, all the girls looking amazing. I don't know, because one day you can be seven, one day you can be last, and that would be okay for me. it's so weird because I'm so competitive. Don't get me, but like,
I hear
but it's
that.
like I really understand who is this for, and I really understand when God has something for you and when it's your time.
Oh, you're preaching. I love it. It's so good. I'm just like soaking it in because that is a conviction that I've been having, not just for my personal life, but in my work as well, and relationships too. Like, I released so much of what wasn't for me, and God was like, here's everything you could have ever imagined and more. And so when you say it's not, I'm seventh in the world, I'm Maria, I love that, first of all, because, and Maria, daughter of God, that I really love because you're not rooted and your happiness is no longer determined by an outcome. And your husband, I love that he reminded you like it's passion over placing. If you get to pursue what you love, that's worth celebrating, irregardless of how you place. And you have had a very successful career. Like, let's be honest, too. Like, of course, you're competitive. We can see that in how incredible you've done since you started. And this season alone was a really strong season for you, too. And it sounds like a lot of the attribution of success is to putting your faith and trust in God. Was there anything else you had to change or maybe focus on, whether that's physique or mentality or training or nutrition, that you feel also made the difference in your journey this year?
It's a really good, interesting like question because I changed so much. For all guys, you hear me for first time. Few years ago, I coming from anorexia, bulimia, like so hard stuff in my life to getting, not having the best relationship with the food. And last year when I start, I'm so honest. All my coaches, they know my situation. Like I don't try to say, oh no, no, no. I'm so honest. When I start with my last coach, hey, I have that problem. So I will tell you if I'm doing something wrong because I'm just my husband, everybody on my family knows that because I'm not trying to say, oh, like it's just for me. No, I think in my mind is the best way you can pass that, in your life. You need to talk
Mhm.
with the people. And okay, last year when I started with my coach and I told with my coach, hey, that's happened to me, whatever, blah, blah. Okay, she said, okay, we need to grow. And as a bodybuilding and off season, you need to put in the weight. But the thing it is, I'm so interesting person because I don't have any problem putting weight on my body. I'm happy, whatever. Like and when I started having problem with the relationship, it's not because I have some problem see on my body because I always be skinny. I was before bodybuilding, I was ballerina, so ballet.
Right.
And I was okay. I was skinny all my life. What actually, it's really hard to me getting weight. It's
Hmm.
the opposite. So, but the reality when I got that problem with the food is because I don't have the best relationship with my dad, and I feel alone, and that's why the problem with the food is coming. Okay, last year, I don't have any problem with the food or everything, but my food on off season is never going to up because I was still healing, your digestion, your good, everything is suffer when you have a problem with the food.
Hmm.
So when she started bumping my food, bumping my food, bumping my food, I was wow. And I was remember struggling, like, oh my God, I want to throw up because I feel so full or whatever. And the main, I was sitting in my bed, like you don't want to turn up. You want to one day you need to crawl, shake out your food in your in your stomach. Was really hard, and it's a really struggle moment. And, it's not the best that I can you can hear to me, but that's my best win last year. Like because when you have a problem with the food, this is coming all the time, no matter what. You have hungry or not, this is gonna be in your head for a long time. But the thing it is, the key for don't repeat those problems again is just be strong with yourself and say I am here today and okay of course I feel full but it's gonna be okay. I was walking around my house trying to get in my food digest And that's what I changed Maria to this year because I was able to eating more and putting the weight that I need to put it in and having that change in my body.
Wow, I want to go even further into this because this is something we both are very passionate about. When you focus on your relationship with food, you do become a better athlete. We invest so much, I made a post on this today, but we invest so much time, energy, and effort into our bodybuilding career, whether that's a suit, heels, a coach, like there's a lot going into this. Why have a negative relationship with food hold you back from being the best you can be, or negative mental health sabotage you? So the fact that you were able to say, okay, I'm not going to repeat an old version of myself. I'm going to challenge this by incorporating the food. I'm going to finish my food. I'm going to make sure that I am putting on the size needed. That's challenging, but bodybuilding is a different situation, but sometimes the feeling physically can be the same. So, like sometimes the clients I've worked with who have a history of binge eating, they will feel guilty when their stomach is extra full, or they'll be worried that are they doing the wrong thing? Because they associate it with how they were in the past. And you're nodding because it sounds like that's how you felt.
Yeah, that's what I felt like, last year because she started bumping, but it was super interesting because we finished my off season last year in 300 carbs, and I was feeling so full. But you know what is the most interesting?
Hmm.
This year, for fill me up, like the day after show and during the peak weeks, 600 carb, and I didn't even feel full.
What?
Yes,
How many rice
yes.
cakes was that?
Girl, there was a rice cake party, like a rice cake party. Jamie say, "It's a rice cake party time," because I was no, and I was eating more rice or more, cream of rice or something. Yeah, I have less volume because he's so many carbs, and
Seriously.
now I'm eating 320 carbs, and I feel so good. But it's just because last year I was so determined to get past that time in my mind
Mhm.
to say,
Yeah.
okay, I need to be better. I need to handle my food because I need to, when you handle your food, it is really interesting. Food can be the best fat burner in your body. But sometimes we have a
Mhm.
really bad things thinking about, oh, it's so much carbs. No, I'm getting fat. No, I promise not. And I told with my girls, with my, the girls that I coaching, girl, you need a carbs. Like and that's giving you the body that you want. It's not just only chicken and lettuce. No, that's no.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really glad you're saying all this because especially for someone who's not competed, they usually see competitors as like using food only for fuel or like no enjoyment, just chicken and lettuce like you said. Now granted, there is a level of I guess there's a big difference between like a normal person eating and what we eat, generally speaking. However, the thing that you said about like it can be the best, like actually eating can be your best fat burner, that is like what I wish I could tell so many people too, because for one, like I think having a healthy gut and making sure your health and hormones are in a good place will support that. But also, like, you're pushing your body's limits. And if you're willing to do that in prep, right? Like in prep, you're willing to cut food and do a lot of cardio. We have to treat improvement season with the same level of respect. And bodybuilding's not a sport like this. It's a sport where you push and you push the other way, and then you push, and you kind of find a place that like it sounds like you're at a good, solid place. You're still working to make improvements. You're at your 320 grams carbs again, only a couple weeks post show. So it's like your body's obviously doing great, but it wouldn't have happened if you didn't push past what was your comfortable norm. And that's what being a competitive athlete really requires. It's not necessarily what you eat or when you eat or what your suit looks like on stage. It's like, well, how often did you push past your comfort level to become a bit better, but not so much past it that you lost your love and your zest and your passion for the
And you
sport?
get it's two ways. You can be obsessed in a good way, and you can be obsessed in a bad way. So I'm obsessed, like in okay, I have my routine when I'm on prep. I need to do my cardio, I need to do my training, I need to hit my macros. So racing is just part of my habits to be a bodybuilding. But I'm not obsessed like I need to win, I need to win. If I'm not winning, it's nothing. No, no, it's not that type of obsessed. So I
Right.
just was super fun because 2 weeks before to Olympia, I was crying. Called Jamie, my glutes are gone. All my work is done. I was crying so hard. And when I come into the stage, she told to me, "Your glutes are flat, right?" He goes, "Yes." Like, well, I'm not because I'm crying so bad. I said, and she called Maria, you're fine. I promise you, your glutes are there. No, I lost my glutes. Like I was, and my husband said, Maria, please, please. He always, okay, Maria, call Jamie and talk to Jamie, and it's okay. No, I lost my glutes. Oh my God, I will present the worst physique in my life. But it's something as a bodybuilding where you have pressure, of course have the most pressure on my life is the Olympia. Like you will
Right.
be putting your body with the best bodies on the world. Like it's goes pressure on your head. Like it is pressure. Like don't worry if I'm last or first, whatever. It's pressure.
Absolutely. You're literally stepping on the biggest stage in the world during a year that was incredibly historic for bodybuilding. And on top of it, it's your first Olympia. So there was a lot going on. And then you had this journey throughout the season that was like some highs and some lows. So it sounds like you were pretty worried about your glutes being like flat or not there. Was this like a problem throughout your season that, okay.
But no, it's only for this show in particular. Like it's not happened all my season. But it's because you know what? It is really funny that I want to say. But actually the time that I play second, I was always flat. I always be flat on the stage. But the thing it is with me, I'm so my muscle are so round. I have so many years. I have the density into my muscle. If I'm still flat, I'm look okay. Or not, I want to say okay because if I play second in front of Tyler, I look good, But um, I was really good. But I was really impressed how my body changed when I start, pushing more food. Like my body is filled. So it's. Let me tell you something because all the people ask me why you take? I promise I don't take anything, nothing like crazy. It's just I'm eating more. I'm doing less cardio and I'm just lifting my body.
Hmm.
And I'm so glad Jamie really worked with me when I say I see because for me my problem is not the condition. That type of girl. The condition is not my problem. My problem is getting full.
Yeah,
Because I discovered something this year interesting. When I have so much nerve, I get in flat. I start burning
I
more food
bet.
than normal. Yeah, does the people retain water? No, for me it's just I'm getting flat. I'm lost weight when I'm start to getting nervous. So my main goal is going to a show. Every show that I do this year, don't put in pressure, don't be nervous, be excited and enjoy the moment. Enjoy the moment, enjoy what you do because that's your life. That's as you're passionate about it. I just dreaming when I start so long years ago, I just, dreaming for be a professional athlete, competing, as a when you're competing, it's a lot of money. So it's getting the opportunity to compete. And I'm at that type of gear. I don't want to say competing a lot, but I know to have a 5, 6
Mhm.
shows per year. So it is a money, like, and
Yeah.
I need to be grateful for that. I have to, to present myself and going to the shows, enjoy the moment, not the placing because you don't control that. To be honest, it's not in my hands. The only is in my hands is just enjoy, be present, and do what I love.
If you're looking for competition heels, jewelry, and fun competitor extras, then visit shoefairyofficial.com and use code CELESTE for a discount at checkout. Yeah, definitely. And I think we've all been in that situation too, though, where we're worried about how our physique is looking, or we get a placing we didn't expect and we're disappointed. Like most of us have been there because we are competitive. And then there's like the other side of it where we put it in perspective and we're like, wow, I literally get to do this. This is a luxury sport in many ways. This is a sport that requires a lot out of me and it gives me a lot of healthy habits. And you said earlier, like that's something about prep for you, like your obsession is on the process and the habits are already so ingrained in you. And I have found after going into my 10th year that that's very true. Like there are certain things that just prep and improvement season, it doesn't change. But then there are some differences. So I was curious if you have anything that you do maybe differently, or if there's more flexibility or maybe changes in your improvement season, or if you're usually laser focused, like even through improvement.
No, actually, in my improvement season, it depends. I'm the type of athlete. I really trust my coach, and she gives me flex calorie or she give me free meals or whatever, blah blah. I will be doing so. I don't have any problem with that now. I don't have any problem with food. Actually, I always and that's about the food in the improvement season. And about my train, this off season is gonna be like different to me because the judges told me I don't need to grow anymore. So anything, just don't change anything. Thus the judges are really, persistent with my the first of the year they told me yes, you can be getting a little bit more upper and outer glute, but now they told me no,
Hmm.
you're fine. So you don't need actually, all the feedback for the bikinis is a little bit more upper glute. I was so curious. That was the thing. It was my feedback, and when I received my feedback, no, that's not. You are perfect. So we are not. Actually, I was in five position. They moving me to seven. Because I never cooked my water and salt, but the problem is I'm the first one when they call me and I needed all the
Mm.
group coming, and they put in the top four. So and they get in, the second, the other girls, and I start there in the middle, working and working and working, and I start pushing when I walk into the back because I start to feel my lower back tired.
Oh.
So what my coach say, we don't need to like I actually have only one upper body day uh, per week and three times glute, but not too crazy, just for maintain my muscles. And with the only I needed to, I practice, but I need to practice more. It's just when I walk into the bag and holding my poses like
Mhm.
very well and don't feel my lower back like my lower back tired. That was
Wow.
that was a different off season to me, to be honest, this because okay, I'm not need to push away. I just need to, go to the workouts and have a really good pump, but not crazy pump. I don't need to grow. I don't need to push the weight. So
Right.
I'm not sure how I feel about this off season.
Yeah, I've talked to other athletes in the past who have said that the most challenging part about getting feedback like that is that they miss training. Like they want to push themselves really hard. Like it's actually hard for them not to try to go as hard as they always have. So some of them have even told me like it's made them question like, do I want to still do this because of the potential I have now, or do I not want to do it because it's now actually impeding on training, which is what I love. So I can imagine it's a different approach, but then I could also see it probably being quite satisfying and rewarding to know that you really made your physique into what they're looking for, and now you get to kind of test and tweak as you go.
I'm scared because everything's gonna happen. Maybe I can go next year and say you need a more site. Why you don't tell me that this year? But
Yeah.
I'm okay. But I'm okay with that. I just follow everything what my coach say. Okay, we don't need to grow. We need to just maintain. It's just because I just want to be so I'm focused on that. It is, for example, if you want more density to your upper glute, it's not gonna happen in one off season. That's gonna happen with the years because at that point it's just little details. But it's not coming with only one off season. So it's
Hmm.
just coming with the constant, with the years at the time. You competing, you take the time off. That's why your physique is getting more better and better and better. When you get the time, but it's not coming in only one off season. I know my upper glute can be better, in my opinion. So not in the opinion of the judges, but in my opinion, yes. And I can be better on that. But I know when my husband, I would say, okay, Maria, but just say be careful. That's coming with the time. That's coming with the time. I'm only 28 years old, so I have the time for that.
Yeah, that's so amazing. One time a judge said to me, like, Celeste, you think, like, you look at your body and you think you need to grow everywhere, which you do. He's like, but you also need to have balance in bikini. That's what matters the most. So, yeah, even if you need to grow glutes, like your upper body needs to catch up first. Otherwise, like you'll always be out of balance. And I was like, duh, I didn't even think about it like that, but it's true. Like, and so when we're told feedback, it is important to have that trusting nature to go, okay, I see this. I'm going to keep that in mind and keep an eye on it. But if they told me this, I got to just make the most of it and hope that they still mean that when I see them again.
Yes, it is really hard, but it's just, especially for me, I'm so short. I'm the most short in the stage. I'm
Yeah.
4'11". I don't think it's gonna be anybody's 4'11" on a stage, only like me. But it is really interesting where, for example, when they put me next to Laura Lee, I see, wow, I look so balanced. So, but girl,
Mhm.
I'm working so hard for that balance. That's not easy. That's
Yeah,
not easy. But what is the most interesting? When I balance my mindset, my body is balanced better. It can show your mind control your body.
so true.
Like
100%.
I think we can do because you can do all the hard work, but if your mind is in a bad place, your body don't show your hard work.
Not at all. Well, I actually have had multiple situations like that in my own journey. Like when my mom died, I was still following my plan to a T. I was still hitting the gym. I gained a lot of weight. Like it was a very traumatic event and my body showed it. And then I got like at different points in my journey, like things would change in my personal life and my body would reflect that too. Did you ever experience anything like that where your mind was like out of whack and what caused it and how did you get back into balance?
Last year was really interesting. Like last year, 2023, my first competition for Charlotte Pro last
Mhm.
year,
Mhm.
I was depressed. I was really depressed. I don't know why, sometimes you can feel depressed because
Mhm.
whatever can happen in your life, I feel depressed. I feel um that's happened because in 2022, I'm so honest here, and 2022 was my rocky season. I do 4 shows. And I putting expectations so high in me until I always have a first call out. I would be on the top. I don't have the place that I really want. And at that point, I'm so glad my husband is so realistic. He told me, Maria, you look good, but you don't look good like for the other girls. Maybe you need to work a little bit more, and you need to understand that the other girls have more time in the pro league. No, I say, okay, no, I'm not good enough. I think I'm good. I have so many bad things on my mind in
Mhm.
2022. When I start my prep in 2023, I got to choose a short off season, maybe 3 months, something. When I start my prep in January.
Mhm.
So Charlotte Cup was in April. My body was not responding, but I was start depressed since last year. I have in my
Mhm.
okay, I have that in my hair. Like okay, I know I need improve, but I'm not good enough. Like I'm not the place that I
Mhm.
want, whatever. But I struggle so much with my mind. Maybe I'm not. That's I have so many bad things in my mind, and I start getting more me depressed because but I that caused me like it's nobody there. I caused my only depressed.
Mhm.
At that point, to be honest, I was crying every day. I do my prep to a T. So my coach dropping so much my carb and nothing is gonna happen. My weight is not changing. My weight is not changing. And that's getting me more pressure, more depressed. Until one day, 3 weeks out, she told me, no, that you're not gonna be the show because you are not ready. Oh my God, that broke my hair a little bit more. I was brave, okay. And I was thinking, try to thinking, what happened, Maria? What happened? Were you depressed? And I start healing myself on my mind. And what is the most interesting? When I start doing that, and I was okay, it is not time, relax, you're gonna be better. I dropped 5 pounds in 1 week.
I'm sure.
Wow. And my tie-ins are there. Everything was there. I said, I was holding, I think, in water for
Yeah.
so long time because my mind was depressed.
Mm. And it was
It
all
was
because of like this pressure and this not good enough and the negative thoughts about yourself.
your mindset when they want to create something bad things for you, they creating amazing bad things for you, and
Yeah,
you believe that. Like, it's really like crazy how the mindset is work,
I
because
know.
the novellas, Hispanic novellas, they are so dramatic. Well, the
Yeah,
mindset is the same. Like, but my husband said, Maria, you created a freaking whole novella in your head. Oh yeah, I know. But when your mindset created that, it's really hard to get out there.
for
It's
sure.
really hard.
For
So you need
sure.
to have so much, personal growth and everything. Oh, you know, I start every morning. At that point, I start every morning here to the daily devotionals and learn about more. So, okay, putting the first time you wake up, hear, good things, whatever positive thing and everything. And I start, you know, writing everything that I feel. I will start doing a journey for healing myself that I was doing at that point, for healing myself. And one day I was wake up and I said, I'm not depressed anymore. Like,
Mm.
but I just affirm that I'm not depressed anymore. So that's just a situation. I'm getting out of there, and I'm affirm every day I'm not depressed anymore. So I'm not depressed anymore, and everything is gonna happen like super well. So, and I was doing that Charlotte Cup, and I played second. Like, I said, oh wow, that's my first second
Worked
in the pro
out.
league last year. Yeah, last year.
Yeah, that's so awesome. And I actually was there this year. So I saw you competing this year. And then I actually walked with Jamie and I was walking with her after the show and I was like, don't take this the wrong way, Maria, okay? You already said this yourself. But I was like, Maria looked a little bit like flattered than she normally does, in my opinion. I was like, she looks amazing, but she just looked like and then I realized Jamie was your coach, and I was like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot Jamie was your coach.
No, but yes, I was super flat. You know what? Oh Jesus, I never say this, but the reality is because when I started competing, I won almost all the overalls here in the Carolinas. So that's my town. And
Exactly.
I felt so much pressure in the
Of
Charlotte Cup. I
course.
felt, actually, she told you want to do Charlotte Cup again. Oh Jesus, no, I don't. And I told you, when I have so much pressure, I get in flat. I cannot.
Yeah.
She can't even fill me up. She, for that show, she gave me almost 400 carbs, and I'm not feeling now.
Yeah. And you know what? To Jamie's credit, she didn't say anything about your physique. She just said that you look good. You guys were working towards it. Like she didn't, there was no, I just want to make it very clear. Like there was nothing, like there was no talking behind your
No,
back or
and
anything.
actually, that will be our first show together. She don't know how is my mind's work and how is my body work. So she was impressed. Maria, wow, you eating, and I'm eating so much sodium too. She said, Maria, you eating so much. What happened with your body? And when I started say, hey, Jamie, oh, and other team, I was so nervous that day, and I
Mhm.
started getting diarrhea before going to the
Oh,
stage.
sometimes that's
Yes.
good, but not diarrhea.
Yeah, no, before going to the
Get
stage, like
dehydrated.
yeah, exactly. That's what when I started getting the pump. I don't have the pump,
Yeah.
but that was amazing experience. To be honest, I
Yeah.
I cried so much and everything, but I learned everything is happened for one reason, because that's the show that we Jamie learned about my body, and as a person, I learned so much about my mindset. What
Yeah.
happened when I got so much pressure and something bad things? That's what happened in Pittsburgh. I go to Pittsburgh and say, Jamie, I don't have a problem if I placed last year. I know I'm not the Olympian, I don't get a problem if I place last year. If I don't remember her. If I place in the top 10, I will be happy. And she told me, Maria, you see yourself how you look, you probably will be in the mix. I told her, are you sure? And she said, yes, you will. I'm not that I don't have the result, but she said, you improved so much. And when I step to the stage, Tyler's come to me and say, good job, Maria. You have the formula now. I said, the formula is here.
Mm,
It was here.
mm. Wow. So first of all, it's amazing how as an athlete you can reflect and say, what held me back was the mentality, it was the pressure, it was the nerves. So now you know that about yourself and you're using that to your advantage. You're already setting yourself up for success into the next season. Now, there is some heartbreak with losses or not having the placement you expected or even were set to get. But to go and compete on the biggest stage in the world and have such a successful career as it is, but you already have so much time invested in this sport. How did it feel at the Olympia? Like, did you have, I mean, obviously you said you had pressure going into it, but before you walked out there, you prayed. But when you were on stage and you heard your name for first call outs, how did that feel?
Was I won't cry. And I remember seeing my husband in the audience say, no cry, no cry.
Oh, really?
Let me tell you something.
I love this guy. I want him to, I was like, he needs to come and do an interview.
Oh my God, yes, everybody love him because to be honest, he is my biggest support. He always put me when I cry, say, no, I will be retired. He told me, Maria, put your shoes and go to the gym. That's his bodybuilding. That's his bodybuilding. It's just time. It's just time. And I say, okay, okay, that's good. I'm gonna go. He never gonna be like every do if I do in my life is because he always helping me to be a not only better athlete, but be a better Maria, learn about my experience on the stage, how I can be better every day. But when they called my name in the first call out was wow. And you know what happened? That's what I think I still feel my lower back too tired. I feel so many emotions. For those who knows, Angelica Texeria is my idol.
Uh-huh.
It's my idol. And when I see on the screen, as an athlete, you know how you can place when you are in the lineup, right? And when I see I beat her and Isa, I was starting getting so many emotions on my body. Like
Of course.
I can't at that point in my life, I need to understand you are Maria the athlete. You battle for the place. But I said, Maria, that's your idols. I was sad for my idols. So I don't know
Oh,
how I can,
wow.
because she will be my idol for all my years, for all my life. And you know what is so weird this year? Because my husband said, Maria, you know what happened with you this year? 12 years ago, when I started, I remember I have oh my god, in the papers, the pictures with the girls or whatever, and one of those girls was India Paulina,
Oh,
and
wow.
I won. Well, but in Pittsburgh I passed her, and then Miami I was past her. Was That's why that one for me was wow. It's not because I beat her, it's just because she was I when I start, I give that picture to the gym, I want to look her.
Yeah.
And that was
Wow.
me. Like when I was 16 years old, going to
Wow.
the gym. I said, "Hey, I want to look her." Okay, that's happened. And then was Angelica and Isa, and I said, "Okay, that was your idol." So how you can feel when somebody is your idol? I'm at that moment. I'm still her fans. So it
Yeah.
was a weird moment. It was a super weird moment, and that's why I feel
Huh.
so many emotions because when I see the screen, what happened? My head is crazy. I know I can do
Yeah.
like, but you really, I really, I don't have that on my expectations to be honest.
Wow. Yeah, I could see that like in your head because you're a fan of the sport and you idolize these women. If you start going down the line of the women you idolize, you wouldn't maybe see room for yourself. but you actually are among them and above them as far as placing goes, which is wild to think about. And if you're up there and you see the big screen, now, when you're saying you saw the big screen, is it because you guys are looking at the big screen to help with poses, or were you just like, wait, where am I in the lineup?
I was thinking, let me see my glutes.
Yeah.
And when I like that, I just, oh my God, look the place. Because I was thinking I was in the corner. But when I see my place, I have Angelica here, and they started moving me to here. I was in shock. Like, what happened? And to be honest, I cannot concentrate in that moment. And that's why my husband told me later, that's why people say first Olympia, that is different because you don't expect that and you have so many emotions. Next Olympia, maybe you can control these emotions better, but that emotion is gonna be only in your first Olympia. You never feel that emotions again. So, oh, that's why I understand better when the people say enjoy because your first Olympia is your first Olympia. Because probably next year I will not feel that emotions. It was gonna be different. But that's feel all those emotions because actually that's happened with one of the open guys too, Martins. He when he putting in the middle between I think Sansom and Hari, he poses so well. And when they moving, he start loads of posing because of course he have so many emotions. And I was thinking, oh, I'm not the only one. That's happened with the other guys too.
Um,
Because you expect that you have in your mind that's your dream, but when you leave it, it is different. You feel
mhm.
so many emotions.
Hmm. Wow, I love hearing this. I mean, you don't get to hear a lot of that perspective. So I'm just amazed, like the way that you're putting this into words. It's almost like we get to live through you and your experience. And you only imagine, like when you're on the other side, like you've not been a pro or you've not been an Olympian, or you imagine what might that be like, or you wonder about it, you try to think about it. But to hear you talk about it like that, again, your humility is showing, and also like the passion and the excitement and the eagerness to improve. Do you feel like now, after that experience, though, how do I ask this question? Do you still find yourself being like a fan of the sport and idolizing these women? Or and maybe both are true, or do you see yourself more like as one of the top women who,
I don't see myself on the top, to be honest. Like, I'm still passionate and fan of the sport. I'm still like, Angelica is gonna be my idol for all my life, no matter what. She's gonna be like 4 times Arnold champ, 2 times Olympia champ. She doing the sport so well. Hopefully, if one day I can be like her, I will be so not like her because everybody is different, but like the
Mhm.
passionate, the love she has for the sport, like it is amazing. It's one of the things I talk with my husband. Um, to be honest, it's so easy when you are on the top. Maybe you can ego can grow, but I told my husband, no, my ego is not grow. That's what I told you, like early in the when we talk about. I know I'm seven on the world. I know my potential, but I'm Maria, so I'm still a person. I need to be better person. I am still to need to, to learn about the sport, about the life, about everything. So I think it to be honest, because when Jamie told to me, okay, what is your expectations, whatever, blah blah, I say, you know what? I don't have any expectations. Of course, I wanna, be better next year. But the only way that I know I can be better next year if I have humble in my hair and I work every day since as as a NPC. Because people don't understand. I see so many times now that NPC are so crazy to be a pro or whatever. I know, I understand, but enjoy every do I should do as an NPC at a national level. Like when you would try to get in your pro card, enjoy every season because that's the person as you are. So now I enjoy. I'm a seven on the world. I achieved my goal in my first Olympia. Because I was, of course, I was praying to God every night. I want to be in the top 10. I want to be there. So, but the thing it is, it is your start. It's in your hands. It's your time. I know it's gonna be. It's not my time. It may be next year or whatever. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with those situations. But that's the obsess that I told you that I have in a good
Hmm.
way. I work every day for that goal. But I don't have my ego, oh, because I work every day for that goal, it's gonna happen. No. Like I just say, okay, I just work every day. I do what I need to do for be there, but I'm not the result. So that's in my mindset right now. And I don't want to show, oh, Maria's not competitive. No, promise. I am so
Yeah.
competitive. I'm so like I told my husband I need to do better this. I know I can be better. They say, hey Maria, be careful. You okay, you're seven now. Say, no, but I know I need to be better, whatever, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, when you go into the stage, result is not in your hands.
That's right. Well, I think that also brings a lot of peace because no matter how you look at it, whether you win or you don't, like you didn't have that all the control you had already happened, right? Like all the workouts already happened, the nutrition happened, how you peaked happened, like it's all already done. And that's why I emphasize so much like you have to enjoy the daily commitment because you don't have control over the outcome. You really don't know if you're going to get a certain placing or not. So you have to really like and appreciate what you do every day to get there to the end because otherwise you could be disappointed whether you win or lose because you just didn't do what you wanted to do.
Yes, and especially now, I have a few friends, they are NPC, and they are so concerned about getting the pro card or no. And to be honest, and then my first time that I tried to get in my pro card, I just want to go there and see what I need to improve, what I need to do for be a pro one day. I know I'm going to be a pro one day, but like I can explain that it sounds weird because I enjoy, like as a NPC, I enjoy so much everything. You don't have the pressure for, when you are a professional athlete, yes, you're gonna be half the pressure. Why? Because the list is coming on Tuesday. So you start to see how you be competing. When you are NPC, you don't know anything. Just go there and fun.
Yeah.
And when you are pro, you have, I never see that, but you have the review shows, you have the oh, what is going to be in the top or whatever, blah, blah. It's so many. I think people talk when you're
Yeah,
a pro, and of course, we are humans at the end of the day. We
correct.
can hear that. I remember one day, I never do this again. So, one show, they do like a review how it's going to be in the top five, whatever, blah, blah. And they talk, I don't want to say anything, but they talk, Maria's not going to be in the top five. She don't look good. I think she needs la la la. Okay, so that show is gonna be placed too. So, but I remember that peak week, I was crying because I'm a human. I'm in prep.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
I'm still human. I'm not a robot. Like
exactly.
so,
Exactly.
and I say, okay, let me put this outside and just focus on myself. But when you start just focus on yourself, it's not if you because I can say one day, for example, oh, I never have the glutes and marine have. Yes, but my name is Maria, it's not Marine.
Mm.
So when you start only focus on yourself and that's your way, that's your time, and not focus on other time or other people or whatever, blah blah, you can admire the other people,
Mhm.
you can see how the hard work of the other people, but when you don't compare, it's gonna be your journey is gonna be more easy. And it's some cliche, but it's one day at a time.
How do you instill this in the clients that you work with too? Because it is a common struggle for people to compare themselves, especially when they're competing or close to it, or they see what other people are saying, or maybe they go backstage and they're like, oh my gosh, what have I gotten myself into? Like, how do you support your clients with their competing and their mindset and everything that you do as a coach?
I remember all of my athletes. At the time, the different when I'm a coach, I just try to have a call with my athletes maybe 2 times per month. And when we have a call, I try to work in her mindset. Like, okay, listen, maybe I know we need to, for example, yes, we need to grow your muscle. That's gonna be okay. But that is your best version. Remember you how you looked 1 year ago. Compare yourself with you with 1 year ago, not with somebody have more muscle. That's not yours. That's somebody. And I promise the other girl have other problems. You are
Yeah.
not she's not perfect. But I learned that. So and I always try to, to talk with my girls. Hey, be proud of yourself. Celebrate every win that you have in your life. For example, I do my cardio, I do everything to do. Celebrate that because that's gonna be when you go into the stage, you can show that to the judges. And you know what is the most beautiful? Um, 1 month ago, I have one show and I have 4 athletes, and I was always sitting before the judges, behind the judges, and see my athletes. And one of the judges, one of my girl, but they don't know this is my girl. And when the girl is coming, the judge come say to me, "That's your girl." I say, "How you know?" Because she has so much confidence. And that
Oh,
moment as a coach does make me so happy because maybe, of course, she needed more muscle, but I don't care. She was super proud of herself. She looks amazing. She doing so well. And that's the only as an athlete you can do because you don't control is the other person have more muscle. Maybe the other person have more years than you in the bodybuilding. Of course, it's gonna be like more muscle. Or they have a better genetics, whatever in the case, but you need to be proud of yourself. Whatever you do, like in your life, it's gonna be like it's because you need to be proud of yourself. You need to celebrate every win, and that's what I talk with my girls. Hey, be proud of you because what a lot of people sometimes want to just try to get the diet and they can. If you do the diet, you do the work, the hard work, you do the cardio, you do the exercise, you do everything, you need to feel proud of yourself because a lot of people have so many struggles and they cannot do this, so you need to be proud of yourself. Don't compare with other people, like, because what's so funny, because the other day one girl put me in my one of my posts that I put in, and she said, "Maria, you're doing amazing. You do so many things in 1 year." And I say, "Hey, thank you so much, but I promise it's not 1 year. It's 14 years." But
mm,
I think it's important because maybe a lot of people start to follow me like a few months ago, and they think I'm doing all those things in 1 year, and they are wrong. I have 14 years on
mhm.
that, so it's not 1 year.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and you've evolved so much as a person from 14 years ago to now. I mean, you were 16, right? When you started. So that's a whole different person in general, let alone like your athletic career, your journey. When you get all the way to the end of where you're at now, let's say, and someone is saying, wow, look at all that you've accomplished. I think it's kind of on the edge of, or along the same lines of comparison, because when people compare to anybody, whether it's a pro or someone else, they're not considering different aspects of life, different background, different day-to-day demands on that person's life. So it's very unfair, not just to yourself to compare, but also to whoever you're comparing yourself to. Because for someone like you, you're like, I've been at this for 14 years. It's not like I just like woke up and here it is. So you're a great example of that. And I think also something that's so fascinating and inspiring about you is you have competed year after year after year, and yet you've still improved. You've reported feeling good throughout, especially this season. And in an interview with JM, you said you want to compete for years and years of your life. And so I imagine that bodybuilding has just given you this passion and this zest for life. But what is it about bodybuilding specifically that you feel makes it worth pursuing forever?
Because bodybuilding created the person that I am today. That's what I told you like early. You can choose is a bodybuilding build you or destroy you. And I chose bodybuilding created like my personality, my personal growth. Uh, as an athlete that I started so young, I started to mature more young because of course, as a bodybuilding, I never drink alcohol. I never go out to the, some parties. I never liked it that. Like I didn't like it. So for me, bodybuilding that's created the woman that I am today. So it's not just a body. And I was told the people, yes, my body has to work. I have the muscle because yes, I'm so density, but it's because I have 14 years on the
Yeah.
gym. It's not because I have 1 year. No, it's just because and I'm so consistent. For example, if I don't feel okay, I will go to the gym and I do my work. The different that okay, maybe I don't need a push today. I don't need to be my 100% today, but I go there and just do what I can feel I can do. And and I don't feel bad about that. Oh, I'm not doing my 100% today. I'm fine. I listen my body. If I'm tired or whatever, maybe I can rest today. Or maybe if I'm going to the gym, I don't need to push too hard. But that's the bodybuilding art for me. That's what I want to do the sport for so long time because I really enjoy. As I told you, like after Charlotte, whatever happened, if I never get my qualification, I will still do it because I enjoy the process. I enjoy, you know, my prep, my off season. I enjoy the process that you can learn about your body, how your mindset can control your muscle. Like every is crazy, and I just love it about the sport. It is a hard sport, yes, but for me, it's not any sacrifice. It's just, for example, it's one person like I don't know, be lawyer. Like you have a passion about that. It
Exactly.
is bodybuilding. I have the passion about it is really crazy because I wanna be a bodybuilding when I was 11 years old. So
Wow.
I was in the mall and I see bodybuilders and I told my dad and my mom, those people are superheroes. I want to be like that. And I was a kid and I was thinking, oh my God, I want to look like those superheroes. And for me,
Wow.
days, I'm a superhero. I'm my only superhero because that's what I see bodybuilding people as superhero because it's really hard to get here. Like your muscle, your diet, for example, getting a bad relationship with the food and now getting a good relationship with the food and getting a good health or everything. I say, oh my God, I enjoy so much. Every time that I go into the gym and I see the old ladies when they are bodybuilding, I say, oh my God, wow, they are my inspiration. I want to look like that
Seriously.
or see like that, look like that when I was 6 years old, maybe 50. Maybe I'm not competing like him, but maybe when I got 60, why would not doing just for
Yeah.
fun? Like, why not? Like, it's just fun. It's my life. Especially because all my life what I'm doing is just bodybuilding. Of course, outside a coach or everything. I love coaching because I started coaching because I see so many struggles and so many bad ways to have a coaching and I really like to learn my girls, hey, we have other way. We need to, it is time. It is not a magical pills. It's not a magical results. I promise it's not. It's just, we need to trust the process. We need to be patient. We need to be constant. That's what I like to do, the
Mhm.
coach. And I'm not coaching a lot of girls that is a lot of, I needed to be honest, a lot of girls, they don't like sometimes my coaching because they want results like that and I'm sorry, with me, it's not overnight. We need to put in on the work. It is
Right.
time.
That's right. Well, and they're lucky to have a coach who sees it that way and would rather do the right approach over a long period of time than the wrong approach just to get quick results, because that's not sustainable, it's not enjoyable, it's not empowering, and it won't create like the mindset that you have, which is that of wanting to continue for a long time. Now, you said maybe, yeah, you'd go back to it in the future. Do you have other goals? Like, what does the next like 5 or 10 years look like for you?
Well, now like it is it is weird because now I just more focused and getting my coaching to the mindset. Of course, I have my clients, but now I just more focused into the mindset coach. Like, not for only competitors. It's just for everybody who has there have a problem with food or having want to be a better relationship with the food. Because let me tell you something. I know healing relationship with the foods, it is different, for example, to the alcohol and drugs because alcohol or drugs, you say, okay, I don't take it anymore, and that's it, for example. But the food you need to eat
Hmm.
every day, it is a little bit more hard. So now my focus is just I am now writing my book. I want to say like I don't have the name yet, but I
Yeah.
just writing my book. And I just maybe next year I start to do maybe a conference and something. That's when I, project myself onto the future. Um, learn to the people how bodybuilding can be a better Maria and how it can grow and how it can create a habit in my life, not only for the body, but for my mental health, for my health, for everything of my life. That's my goal in
Love
the
that.
few years. Yeah.
Yes, that is awesome and something that we need more of for sure. And obviously, you've gone through a lot of these experiences on your own, but something that is really inspiring about you is you came here to pursue your dreams as a competitor, right?
Yes. Yes.
So you've been driven for a long time.
Yes, actually I came to United States when I was 20 years old alone.
Wow.
I told my mom because my mom, I was a student to be a lawyer. And I told my mom every day, I don't want to like that. I want to be a bodybuilding. I'm going to be a bodybuilding. I say, Maria, in that moment, imagine when I started competing, I was bigger because bikini was not existing too much in my country. So I'm from
Yeah.
Venezuela. So I was in figure. And that's okay. That's the golden category. That's okay. Open your nuts. Okay. And
Yeah.
actually, I love figure. That's one of my favorite categories. But um, when I come here, I tell my mom, okay, mom, I buy my flight. I'm going to be to US because I want to achieve my dream. She said, I never work in my life. I don't speak in English. So I just came here, 20 years old, and say, okay, let's do this. And to be honest, as an immigrant, Celeste, it is really hard because you don't have the money, you don't have the language, you don't have anything. And I said, okay, but I just every day I believe in myself. I don't know where, I don't know when, but I just work, Maria. Just work, just work, just work. I just I met my husband and he really support me and he said, okay, that's your dream. I'm going to but my husband loved the bodybuilding. When I met him, he competing only one time. Um but he just doing for fun. For I think he doing because after that he understand more how I feel every time when I'm
Mm-hmm.
on prep. And that was a good experience. But when I met him, he tried to compete in this year, but he said, no, let's focus on you. And he helped me so much. And I started competing here in 2020. Sorry, 2019. 2019, and we started competing. I have a few years, of course, I'm going to the gym, I'm eating good, but I don't have the money for competing. I just try to
Yeah.
get, a better job, a better something situation for start competing because it is really expensive. And as okay, we are focused on that in the first years. I was going to the gym and I just getting my coach and everything. So okay, it is time. It was really hard, but I just trust myself. And I remember when I started competing, they told me, "You are so small. The girls small never wants overall." I said, "Okay, let me try." I won a lot of overall, so I won almost all the overalls here in the
Yeah.
Carolina. So I say, maybe you are wrong. And they told, nah, maybe you don't want you want your pro card because you are too big. As a Latin, of course, my quads are really dominant, a little bit dominant. So say your quads are too big, whatever, blah blah. Okay, let me go there and try. And in 2021, I won my pro card. So I was every time it's challenging. Don't think, oh, Maria have the easy way. I promise not. Anybody believe in me, but the only person that I need to believe in me is just myself.
Oh, I love that. There's always going to be naysayers or voices, whether they're in our head or otherwise, that are telling us we can't do it or it won't work or are you sure you want to do this? Like those questioners, the doubters. But when you really believe in yourself, you can make anything happen. And to come here not knowing English, to learn a whole new language, learn how to, I guess, function in this industry as well and grow a relationship, a marriage, a life. That's a lot all at once. And it's incredible. It must have been very character building. And I imagine there were some challenges in that and probably some setbacks or difficulties. So, a couple questions. Did you teach yourself English or how did you learn it?
In the streets.
Really?
I'm not a shy person. My husband sometimes say, Maria, you say so many like wrong words. I don't care. It's my accent. What I can do, like it's just my accent. And of course, I tried to go to the college and learn English, but I said, oh my God, I don't have the time. I'm so tired. I need to work so much, whatever. And I was working south. And when I start working self, okay, I need to start, talk more and whatever, blah, blah. I see, the movies or whatever in English. Of course, my husband, he speak really well English. Actually, when we started, he speak better English than Spanish.
Oh,
So yes, because he's from Colombia, but he comes here when he was really young, like as a baby. So, and he grew in Jersey, so her language is just English. Um, he speaks Spanish really well, but he speak better English. Actually, he don't know write Spanish in a good way. So so when I started with him, so I just okay, let me practice, and now we can speak like Spanglish. I can
yeah.
say, but then I start, talk with the people and say, okay, let's go there. If I don't understand, I will try my best, and that's what that's what I learned. And I remember my first show here. I was, Chris from the time,
Oh, yeah, yeah,
from
yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
a super fun moment. My first time here, say, okay, uh hands down. You like he said no down, and I said yeah because I don't understand anything. And he loved me. He said so loved me, but I just okay. I just tried to do my best, and he put in my hands like this.
I love it.
Turn it on, and he turned it on me because I don't understand. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it was my first signing, and I didn't expect I gonna be at the time, and I was okay. I know I need to be naked in front of top people. I was so nervous, and
I
okay,
know.
I was oh my God, I don't know anybody told me that's gonna be like that, but I was enjoying so much, and I just talk like I don't have any problem if I say something wrong words or
Yeah.
whatever. I just try my best.
That's so awesome. Yeah, that's courage, right? The courage to learn something and be wrong or try something new and not get it right, but it's brought you so far and you've obviously climbed up, you've made success for yourself and you're impacting other people in a positive way. You have a great relationship on top of coaching business, on top of athletic career, so I only know this is going to be amazing for you continuously. And I'm excited to see what else you accomplish. And before we wrap up this episode, I want to get your best advice. So, what would be your best advice for somebody who has never competed before but wants to? And then your best advice for somebody who is on their road to pro?
So for the person never competing, like enjoy every day, like learn about yourself. Don't compare yourself. Don't compare yourself. You are unique. You have your grace. You have that is gonna be shine with you. Work on that. Work on that. Work on your confidence, on your to be honest, the best way you can do this better is you be the best you can do, but be yourself. Don't try to, oh, Maria, do this. That's something that I coach to my girls. Hey, I'm posing like that, but you don't need a posing like me. You need a, like, I try to guide the girls getting your style, like getting your personality, show your personality. If you are sweet, if you are sexy, if you are sassy, whatever you want to do, show your personality. That's giving you that unique athlete. And enjoy the process. Don't compare and just be a better person. And for that person want to be a pro, hey, enjoy. I know it's at the NPC they have levels. You are in the most level when you want to be a pro. Don't get wrong, like don't be hard with yourself. So enjoy it. It's not the moment. Try to accept and be you when nothing is gonna happen as the way as you want. You have three choices: be sad, getting the opportunity, or grow with the opportunity. So, for those who listen and you go into the stage, assume maybe you have a national in a few weeks and you don't get your result, take that for the opportunity for be better. That's always we have the opportunity for be better. That's what when I come into the national shows, and maybe I don't have the first place for sure. I say, okay, how I can, of course, I was sad. I accept my emotions because I'm a human. If I want to cry, I cry. But the next day, okay, what I can do for be better, what I need to improve. And we need to understand that is the sport. Of course, as somebody start, they don't know the sport, but as somebody want the pro card, they understand the sport very well at that point. And you need to understand especially bikini, it is really subjective. It's not because you are bad or something. It's maybe something happened that day because that's not your day. I promise it's gonna be your day. It's coming. Just work and be a better person every day. Like a better athlete, a better every person in all your aspect in your life. And that in the time in the pro card is gonna it's coming. If you work for that, I promise it's gonna come in.
That's such great advice. I love everything that you just said. And honestly, this entire episode has been full of so many like golden nuggets and takeaways. So I'm really grateful we got to do this together. And I want people to connect with you, be able to thank you, even work with you. So, how can people follow your journey and also reach out for services?
Hey, well, I have in my Instagram, it is MVBOZO, and they can DM me or they can have on my link tree. I have my platform and they can do everything, and we have a call for me back for getting started workout.
Perfect. That's awesome. We'll put that in the show notes page, you guys. That's always on celestial.fit/podcast. If you are looking for the links, we'll put those there. We're also going to put all the notes from this episode. So it'll be a summary, it'll be a bulleted list of topics covered, and it'll be episode timestamps so you can share it with your friends, your teammates, your family, let them know what resonated with you. Of course, myself and the athletes always appreciate when you share it and talk about what you learned from it. And with so many amazing goals for Maria on the horizon, from next year's competing to a book and creating even more for her business, it'd be awesome to support her and follow along. So make sure you do that. Tag us as you listen. And thank you all for tuning in. And Maria, thank you for coming on.
And thank you for inviting me. I was so happy to be here today.
Thank you. It was my pleasure. And to everybody listening, I hope you all have an amazing rest of your day, night, or morning, wherever you are in the world while you're listening to this episode. Just make it awesome.